Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please give it a like, subscribe, a rate, leave a comment. Today, Lacey and I are headed to Bunbury to finalise the sign writing for the truck, and I forgot my sunglasses. And then we are going to show you what else we have in stock for the rest of the week. We have a very busy week coming up. Silage season is nearly upon us, which means we have to get all the machines ready, both the tractors, the baler, the mower, and waiting on the hay rake to come from New South Wales. So we've got a lot of work to do on each of those machines. The big green Deutz has got the most work to do on it, and that is the one we will be primarily focusing on. Sorry about the wobbling. So we'll be primarily focusing on the Deutz this week because we've got to get a lot of panel work done, interior stuff done, 2 new tyres put on the front. So there's plenty of work, plenty of mechanic work for you guys to watch on the channel, and we'll go from there. So if you like what you're seeing, stick around and we'll let you know when we're in Bunbury. So we've just left the sign writers. We've almost completed the design. Hopefully we'll have that sorted this week. He was just waiting on a few more dimensions from me for some of the machines, and hopefully then the F-truck will have sign writing on it, so we'll look all official and professional and that kind of thing. I am going to pull in and grab a windscreen mount for this thing because nobody likes watching a video that's bouncing around the whole time. So just gonna pull in to Harvey Norman. No, they won't have one. Now if you sit down, that you don't stagger around like that so much. See how much better that is? So we have got new mobile phone mount and suction cup mount for the camera, but I don't have the little attachment thingy, so we'll have to put it on when we get home. We're going to head home and make a start on these machines. I do apologise for the few jittery cuts that have been in this video. There's been something, this camera hasn't been recording properly. It keeps deleting a few files, and then obviously I lose that bit and then I can't use it in the video, so I'm not sure what's going on. I've made a couple of changes and done a bit of research. Hopefully we get that sorted in this video, or in the next video, and going forward have no more issues. So I have a new seat to go in because that one I pinched out of the Mac, and the high back doesn't actually work for it, unfortunately, because you can't see when you're hooking up to stuff. The aircon, it's getting a new aircon in the roof. So the old one, which is out here, will get removed and plated up, and The stereo, I've already upgraded the stereo to one with Bluetooth. We've done a fair bit of lighting upgrades to it as well. So it's got LED bars all the way around. It has 540 and 1000 PTO, so it's actually got 2 PTO shafts. They both run when it's engaged. This was top of the line for 1980, the late 80s. It had factory aircon. It had the Powermatic, which is like a hydraulically driven half gear in between your other gears. It's got diff lock. It has got 16 forward gears and 4 reverse gears, or 12 forward gears, no, 24 forward gears and 8 reverse gears. 2 hydraulic remotes. We put the front end loader on. Dad actually designed all of this bracketry where it bolts onto. Spent days taking measurements. We ran the gussets, got it all repainted in the original Deutz blue. And we also need to change the alternator. Still got the original paint on, so it's pushing 60 odd years old and no longer works. The starter motor is also dicky, so we're going to have to get a new one of them. A new muffler, because Dad drove into a tree with it. 2 new tyres, this one's flat as you can see. And a general service and tune-up. It has got the 6 BF6L913. There, we finally got it. Which I think is a 6.1 litre turbocharged direct injected engine. It came between 120 and 170 horsepower. This is the 132, 135 horsepower model. But by tweaking the fuel pump we can bump it up to around the 170 mark, which is what I would like to do. Everything else should handle it. All the crank and everything is all identical. Injectors are the same. Turbo, from my understanding, is the same. And the extra horsepower would be nice. Not necessary, but it would be nice, because I'm hoping to do away with this front weight and put a front 3-point linkage hitch on, which was actually an option for this model. When I went through the manual the other day, you could get a factory front PTO and 3-point linkage hitch, which is pretty forward thinking for the mid-80s. I can get one out of Europe and modify the bracketry to suit. So I would like to do that. Then I can run a triple or at least a front mower setup on it, which will be even better for the contracting. We've got to get a new grill made, got to get this panel straightened, got to get a new light system made, replace the batteries with just a single one. I'd like to put some new updated mudguards on just to make it look a bit newer and flasher. And that should be all we need for this season anyway. So I'm going to pump up this tyre. I'm going to see if it'll start, and then we'll back it into the shed and we'll make a start on getting all the panels, wheels, tyres and other bits and pieces off, so I can order what I need and hopefully get it here before silage season. It'll also get repainted either at the end of this season or maybe the worst spots before the season starts. We'll just have to see. And let's get into it. And it has flat battery, of course. to leave that to charge up. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 20 minutes. The tractor's been on charge, so we'll try again. Round 2. And we'll leave it on charge for longer. Good morning and welcome back to day 2 of what is quickly becoming a will it start video as opposed to a repair video. This morning I'm going to try get this thing running so we can back it into the bay so we can make a start on all the stuff that I covered yesterday. I charged the batteries up, so hopefully that fixes the problem. If not, we'll have to start digging deeper. It has had an intermittent starting fault for a while. Don't know if it's a relay or the switch or starter motor, but I'm replacing the starter motor anyway, replacing the alternator because that's not charging, and we'll go from there. So let's dive in and see what's wrong with it. Okay, so it was a bit hard to hold the camera and do the testing with the multimeter at the same time. What I found is that this wire, which looks pretty cruddy anyway, comes from the cab, from the key switch, and runs into this relay here, and it then powers up this wire, which engages your starter motor. So what I'm going to do for now, just to get it into the shed and get it started, is I'm just going to jump this from here to that terminal there, which is straight from the battery, and hopefully it's got enough juice in it to start, and then we'll have to worry about that once we get it in the shed. There's a bit of rewiring to do on it anyway, so let's see if we can get it to start. It is out of gear, I have checked that. It's pulling the Bendix in now at least. Maybe the battery's still a bit low. It did say 11.6, but that might not be enough for it to kick over. Might have to get another set of jumper leads. Oh, no, actually, I got the pip with it yesterday and I bought a new battery. So we'll install that, see if that makes a difference as well. So my sister took the Honda into work this morning at the dairy up the road and didn't see that the battery for the Deutz is actually in the back of it. So I'm just shooting up the road now to go to the dairy, to grab the battery, to bring it back, to install in the Deutz, and then hopefully third, fourth, fifth time lucky, we will get the tractor going so we can put it in the shed. Unfortunately, that's just a part of mechanicking, a part of farming, and a part of sharing the vehicle, as it would seem. So I am going to shoot there now and we'll be right back. So, just got home, got the battery, had a meeting with the farm manager about some possible upcoming work, so that was good. And now we're installed the battery. Hopefully we can get this thing to start. So there you have it, nice and clean. No, it's not a perfect job. This whole thing is coming apart, getting repainted and sandblasted and all of that after this season, so not too worried about it for now. It's just a get rid of the worst of the dirt and stop any further progression of decay and rust. Look at that. Gonna have to make up some sort of strap mechanism for that, because whatever was there originally 40 odd years ago is no longer there. Again, we'll worry about that at a later date. Try that. After about half an hour of playing with it, fighting with it, should I say, I pulled it out just to make sure that there wasn't anything locked up in the actual starter motor, and did a bench test on it. It actually feels pretty good, so that's leading me to think there's either a bad earth cable, or bad power cable, because when I bench tested it, it worked just fine. So we'll hook it up again and see what the heck is going on. Hopefully it'll go this time. Thinking it's a bad earth, actually. Success! Bad earth. I need to fix that. Right, now let's move it into the shed. So the issue with the alternator is that it doesn't start by itself automatically. I think it's a fault in the alternator. So what we normally have to do, if you look here, I'll just put this lead on the positive. We have 12.7 volts. I then have to reach under here, grab this little jump wire, touch it briefly to the battery, and then I have to check it again. We're at 14.2. So what that does is that excites the little thingy-me-bob in there. You can see there's that red wire there. Basically it powers up a part in the alternator, which I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll put it in the screen. And that's what allows the current and electricity to flow through it and start charging. But it's got the original blue paint on it, which means it's about 40 odd years old. So I'm just going to buy a new one, which has got a higher capacity for all the new lights that we're running anyway. So we'll move it into the shed now, and well, first I'll pump the tyre up again because it's gone down. Then we'll move it into the shed and we'll make a start finally. So there you have it, finally in the shed, day and a half later. So what we'll do now is we'll take the front wheels off, put on jack stands, start taking all the panels off that we need to or don't need anymore, and make a start on everything else. So if you like this video, comment, rate, subscribe, share it around, and this video is probably long enough now, so I'll put that one up and we'll do a video of all it coming apart and all the rest of it in the next one. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and we will see you on the next one.